So what next? Well, fast forward a few years, the company structure was in full swing. We had managers on the home farm where they had their own teams, and well, we were still living there. I wasn't involved in the company roles as such, but was running adjustment and young stock on personally owned and leased properties. I helped out a bit with the data management and weighing for the company, but if I explain the house yard, you have the house, you have the main workshop, which was starting to become a hub. It was the depot drop-off. We had workshop managers. And then about 20 steps away from that, or 20 yards away from that, was the dairy. So it was a traditional old family farming centre. And one day I come home and there were 8 dogs. 2 of them were ours. There were 6 cars. And a bunch of people swung around to see what I was up to when I decided to take my cuppa and my laptop outside. So home wasn't the same anymore, neither was I, and what we were doing in business wasn't the same either. So we'd been leasing some land about 5 minutes away at Millabina, and an offer had been presented on the table for us to take over the whole property, which happened last year. And included on that, goat farmers had been using an indoor shed, which was originally used as an indoor equestrian centre. The goat farmers left a lot to clean up, so I reluctantly helped. But by spending time there, I saw the potential in the location, in the serenity, in the farmland, and in the indoor equestrian centre itself. So horse people are quite hard to keep happy. They have their own disciplines, and the area that we're in is quite remote and away from a lot of the equestrian activities. But non-horse people experiencing the impact of horses through this development facilitation, I could definitely see that. So I did my last minute research and due diligence on equine assisted leadership certification, researching some of the other training models that I'd noticed a few years before. And ironically, the one that I had chosen was starting in Australia the following week. So I started considering what all of this looked like and who I would offer the service to. And because of the house yard situation and the way it was, I actually decided to pack the family up from where we had lived for the last 23 years and move them to a 100-year-old cottage on a rundown property at Millabina. Sounds like a dream plan, really, doesn't it? So that move to Millabina from the home farm, the tidying up of the equestrian centre, the certification study in the equine assisted leadership, well, the timing and alignment just continued. So the same month I bought the business name Leading Rein, and it was suggested by my niece that I apply for what was called the Agrifutures Rural Women's Award with minimal idea about the award process. So what is the RWA? Well, it's about empowering and celebrating the inclusive and courageous leadership and innovation of women in industries, businesses and communities for their projects and their concepts and initiatives that are existing or will be commencing within the next 3 months. So Westpac are the major sponsors, and there's a winner from each state or territory. So you go on to a national selection once you've won your state or territory, and I had no clue what I was getting myself into, but hey, I was on fire, everything was fine. It's quite a prestigious award, but for me, such a powerful development process. So once I was announced state winner, which happened at Parliament House in Hobart, you go on to gain further professional training and support to pitch for the national selection. It's held in Cairns for a week, and plus you have your online training components. Allocated a PR. I didn't even know what a PR was. You have interviews and podcasts and pitch practice. And do you want to know what my biggest fear was? It was public speaking in front of an audience. So what were the highlights personally for me? By far, it would have to be who we call our Agri sisters, the fellow state winners. The connection of the like-minded, it just lit my passion. Everything about Leading Rein project aligned with the award criteria and the values and the expectations. And I was literally hitting the ground running. I had run, however, 60 plus people through the arena, practicing the equine assisted leadership process, the facilitation process, and really powering up the learnings. So there were a few months between the application and the announcement, so I had time to capitalise. Some of the other winners across the states and territories, their projects were integrated into their business and were over 10 plus years old. So I was really proud for me of having that confidence to just kind of step in and have my family back me. The tenacity and the grit and the willingness to grow. Just that impact from myself stepping up and sitting at the tables of others has really helped me recognise my own values and contributions, but what all of those years of slugging it out behind the scenes in the farming business, they're transferable skills. So you don't need a degree or a certification, and that's something that I didn't believe when I'd tell myself that I was just a farmer's wife. So what has the State One done so far for my project? What has the State Win done so far for my project? Well, the Westpac bursary has really helped me fund parts to the startup that I wouldn't pull money from the farm for. The horse programs were just a component of what I was aiming to create, and by winning the award, it really has fast-tracked everything. I've gone on to study and be certified in several development instruments to build and create my own framework, and this includes behavioural profiling, and I wish that we had done this a long time ago when we were building and understanding our people. It helps so much to develop individuals or collective teams through the understanding of each person's attributes, the learning styles and development styles. It's a real fast way to fast track to that self-awareness and the connection and compassion towards other people. When you integrate them into the horse programs to practice these new learnings and skills, it is really powerful. So where are we at now? Well, I'm helping business women across Australia build business confidence through place-based retreats. I'm incorporating my Airbnb, which is called Sisters Beach Stays. It's in a stunning coastal location in what I call a modern day interpretation of a shack setting. So it's not about the 5 stars, but it is certainly about the 5-star empowerment through this time away, the tools to integrate and the personal transformations from the scenery and the experience and what it is that we're creating. And I'm so excited by this one. I'm building an online component to broaden my offering and network with other interstate retreat creators to bring the horse leadership experiences into office throughout Australia. I am offering business leadership and team development workshops, and I'm currently working on creating collaboration opportunities with existing government and private organisations in our region to bring horse programs forward. So what's my message? Well, it's for other women that are on the land, not necessarily who work the land. This day and age, we have loads of ways to build diversity from opportunity on and off the farm. It's about capitalising on your strengths, considering your personal skills, and if you're a little bit entrepreneurial in the mind like I am, just have a go at exploring. The award process is such a great way to grow your confidence and just get that eagle overview of the big picture opportunities. I really want other women to feel inspired hearing my vulnerability and honesty and sharing all the shitty bits to growing yourself while you're growing in business, but knowing that the groundwork pays off. Know your values, know your strengths, work on the bits that need work, and don't aim for perfect before you have a go at trying something new. Just remember, it was 12 months ago that you would never get me in front of a crowd to share my story. But now I think of the opportunities that come from just feeling a little bit into that fear and giving it a go anyway. You got a support person right here. I'm ready to champion and support you along the way. Just grab the reins, have a go. Reach out to me and send me a message if you're interested in any of the things that I'm doing at the moment.